Welcome back, bitches. There's a nice pop to it. Okay, so welcome back to another episode of Tequila Forever Tequila. Today, let's talk about Arte Selección 1146. Now, I've been enjoying this tequila tonight. So I said I might enjoy it too much, so I might as well do a review before it's gone. Because a lot of times, that's what happens. I finish the bottle before I even get to the review. So this tequila right here, this is coming out, like I said, of November 1146. The master distiller is Enrique Fonseca. You know, he is one of the biggest landowners of agave, who owns his own agave and feels rather than like other companies who purchase, from farmers. So he likes to use, his own product, and that's how he started. He started, just as a farmer. He didn't know anything about, making tequila. He had a major contract with Cuervo and Salsa. And for 10 years, he had to produce 40,000 tons of agave, 20,000 for Cuervo, and 20,000, for Salsa each year. Now, they broke that contract after about 4 years and a half, and Enrique was really desperate. He didn't know what to do. He started asking, other master distillers, how to make tequila, but they refused to help him. Nobody wants to help out the competition or anything, right? Or a future competition. So he flew out, I believe, to like France or Germany, where he learned, how they distill the product over there. He learned about aging, and he decided to purchase his own distillery. And I believe that's El Tequileña or Tequileño, if I'm not mistaken. And it's really cool because this man has started from the bottom, not knowing anything about the tequila industry except for just growing the agave. And that's something that he's really good at. On an interview that I read that he had with K&L Wines, back in, I think, in 2013, they were asking him questions, and he was answering, talking about, from his experience, the differences on the highlands and lowlands tequila, and how a lot of times your product is going to be, the flavors and everything on your product is really going to depend on the agave. That's really where it all starts, where it comes from, and from the time that it is mature, you have a certain, window frame from what he said. So he said in the highlands, they mature, they grow a lot bigger, a lot faster. So when it's ready, you got about 6 months. So depending on the flavors that you're looking for, it has to be within that certain time, because you can lose sugar really quick. And on the lowlands, you get about a 2-year window frame. They grow a little bit slower. So he talks about the soil being a lot different, how that makes, such a big difference at the time that it's harvest, and within that window frame, that's where the flavor is going to change and make a difference. So the more I read, the more interested that I became, in his products. I've had tried, some of his products before, and tequila's coming out of that distillery. A lot of great tequilas that came out. You got the Fuente Seca, which is one that he makes. I believe Don Fulano, the Tierras Llorona, also coming out of that distillery. He's not the one who makes it, but comes out of that same number. So anyways, you can go ahead and look up that interview. There's a lot to learn. We said there's so much to learn that there's too much to explain, to put in just in that interview. But that was just some of the things he was talking about, The whole aging thing, I'll get that real quick, is, he started, I guess, to save some of the tequila. He thought it would probably be pretty cool to store it. He started noticing on the flavors, started leaving it there longer. And Fuente Seca actually has, I think the longest aged tequila in history. Like 21 years, there's one of the products that has been aging for a very long time. Now let's go ahead and talk about Arte Selección. I think it's owned by man Jacob or Jake, and what he does is He went to different distilleries trying to get the products, from different master distillers. That's why you're going to see different nom numbers. So none of these products are going to be the same. They're not going to be by the same distilleries. So expect a completely different product. So that's pretty interesting what they did. Now, about this tequila, he uses French barrels that were previously used for wine. Ages it for a minimum of 14 months, takes it out, and then puts it in a previously used Canadian or Tennessee whiskey barrel. Leaves it for another additional 14 months. It talks about the elevation on this tequila. I don't know if it was like 1,000 meters or 1,000 something feet or something like that. You can go ahead and look it up on the website. Here it talks about deltequila.com. You're going to see some of the tequilas that are there, and you can get a little more information on that. So anyways, the Brix level on this is 26 to 27, so that makes it a little bit sweet. And there's something else I don't really remember too much about. It's about it being like 60% 2-year. It's out of one barrel. Then he had his other tequila at the same type of agave and everything. From the same estate, because he believes that also makes a very, very big difference, on the flavors. You have to get it from the same estate to be a consistent product, rather than be like, I'm making the same tequila the same way, but the tequila's coming from a different region. It's not going to taste the same. So the other one I think was like at 3 years. He blended them both together, and that's how they got this product. So it's a really good product. If everybody's gonna be different, some people like products that the agave, really, really stands out. On this one, it is present. It is additive free, but it has a lot of other flavors that, are balanced together. So let's go ahead and talk about some of these aromas and flavors. So immediately, when you inhale this tequila, you can smell, grapes, a little bit of bitterness, kind of like Luchador Añejo, if you ever try that. So you can definitely smell like a little bit of that wine flavor. You get agave, cinnamon, chocolate, some vanilla, a little bit of like nutmeg. Maybe some toffee in there. And there's some other flavors that are also in there that can't quite distinguish at the moment. So it's a very complex tequila. I've been enjoying this all night. And it's actually really delicious. So on the flavors, you do get that grapes, you get that little bit of bitter flavor. You don't really get too much of the chalkiness, but you do get you get that vanilla, you get caramel, some butterscotch. I'm also getting a little bit of like a little bit of like like coffee. It's a really, really nice tequila. It's good. I do get the agave, but I have to be honest, you don't get the strong flavors or aromas of agave, but it is present. So I think that's good. So the balancing on this, I would say the balance is more towards the the grape side, or the wine, to say. But overall, it's a very well tequila. It's really, really delicious, very flavorful. And to me, what's important when I like trying tequilas, I like different varieties. I like to have something that's complex, something that's full of flavor. As long as the agave is present, I think it's good. As long as the flavors and everything comes in together perfectly. Some master distillers really want the agave to be the most dominant, and there's nothing wrong with that. I like to have variety. I like to have different types, so I think this is great. It's a really good product. I highly recommend it. This runs for like $75 to $100. It used to come in a nice wooden box, but I haven't been able to find it in that box anymore. But if you guys tried it or gonna try it, when you do, let me know. This is like a dark amber color. Um, it's a really nice product. You know, at the moment I don't even get a burn anymore, but I think the first glass that I did get just like a little bit of mild heat, which I'm not getting anymore. And I feel like sometimes as you have a few glasses, you're gonna be tasting the product even more. You know, like the flavors are always there, but when it first hits your tongue, you're like, whoa. And after like that first glass, second glass, again, the same flavors are there, but more present without any burn or anything. So next time you pour a glass up, try to, try to have a few glasses and then try it out. And you're gonna see that those flavors really come to life. So that's all I got for tonight. Try the product. I think it's really good. It's at a good price. It's well made, Añejo, edited free. Look for that nom number if you're gonna try this one. Well, that's all I got. Salud. Have a good night.